Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in 6 months or something. Later.
Well.
Warframe, a game that throws you in with a space ninja suit, a butter knife, and says, "Good luck, idiot." No instructions, no manual, just vibes and confusion. You don't know what a mod is, why your keybinds feel like they were set by a drunk octopus, or why the game keeps telling you to build stuff like you're in space IKEA. But don't panic, I'm about to break down the basics nobody explains, so you can stop mashing random buttons and actually look like you know what you're doing. Alright, how about we start off with something simple, but so fundamentally game-changing that it makes or breaks your Warframe adventures in the future. Keybinds. Yes, you heard me. Fucking keybinds. Because nothing screams noob more than having your mobility chained up tighter than Harrow's private harem. You go out on the plains of Eidolon, ready to do some Plague Star. The doors open, you press Q, frantically search for your Archwing. Hell no. You're in Fortuna, ready to beat some Corpus butt cheeks in style with your Necromech. What do? Look at your gear wheel where the fuck your oversized pajama mech is? Hell no. You're in Holvania wanting to rip a sick wheelie. Do you open your gear wheel? Hell no. You're in the thick of it. Dropped in like a space marine fighting hordes of enemies, but your energy runs out. You remember you have energy pads, but don't have the time to open up a menu and search for them. This is exactly where keybinds come into play. Keybinds are not just there to quickly summon movement gear. They are there to adjust the game to your needs and your liking. Don't want to hold an ability's extra cast? Set it to tap. Don't want to sacrifice your E key for melee? Set it to your mouse wheel, whatever. There are endless possibilities here that are just not explained well. So here's a quick rundown. Activating anything from your gear wheel comes with a number. As of making this video, you're still only allowed to hotkey the first 12 of those slots, but that gives you a lot of slots to work with. More or less, I'd suggest you take your movement gear and art gun on stuff like Z, X, Z, V, and B if you're, you know, a PC Master Race player. Stuff like energy pads I put on your mouse if you can, and like I said before, anything you want or need to spam, put it somewhere comfortable. Personally, one of my biggest annoyances is chat on T, or U, one of the two, so I put it on enter.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Got my auto ciphers bound and all that good stuff. DE really thought this through over the years and separated keybinds for different scenarios like railjack, operator, etc. Go nuts, the world is yours. Is that a Scarface reference?
Say hello to my little friend!
That was a pretty big one. Let's continue with something small but super important. How to find the resources you need to build something in your foundry. The game tells you how to build stuff on a very basic level, but it never really goes over where you can find the resources to build anything, and that is quite literally the most important part. To do this in game, all you really need to do is go to your navigation module, switch the resource drone at the bottom right, and see what planet has certain dominant resources. Now, a better way to do this is obviously using the Warframe wiki, which I recommend to keep open in a tab somewhere anyway, but you know, it's good to know you can find resources in-game just by clicking around. Using the wiki gives you an edge because it'll list stuff like resource rarity, what node best to farm on, etc. But this should help you feel a little less lost when you finally get to farm for a fuck ton of Hexanon. Those who know. Next one is a pretty big one. We got mods, polarities, capacity, endo, upgrading, best in slot, a million stats. What the fuck? Mods, aside from movement, arguably make Warframe the game it is. From necessary mods to wild out-of-the-box thinking where all of your weapons, abilities, and even companions need to work together, it's truly wild what we can do with mods. The thing that's also pretty wild is how badly, or well, I mean, the game doesn't tell you shit about mods. Let's just say it how it is. So allow me to break it down in a way that even I understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Mods are modifiers.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
They modify stats or behavior of whatever you put them on. Some of them will increase your health, others will give you more energy. There are many combined mods that, for example, will take away efficiency but give you more power. There are also conditional mods, meaning that a condition, example, a headshot needs to be fulfilled for the mod to work. Although most of these also have base values, so you're not completely fucked at the start of a mission, which is pretty nice. Now mods have polarities. The little fucking icons attached to them, you see them? Good. These signify focus schools like Naramon, Vazarin, etc., which aligns them with what type of mod they are. Offensive, defensive, utility, etc. If you're not in that part of the game yet, this really doesn't matter too much. Anyway, most people call them by the letter they most resemble. For example, you got D polarity, A polarity, whatever the fuck, call them what you want, but they're really just lean on to the focus schools if you want to know. Every mod has a base capacity drain as a number. Every Warframe, weapon, equipment, companion also has a base capacity, which is shown at the top left above all your other stats like health, strength, efficiency, etc. Aligning a mod slot to a mod's polarity through maxing the gear and using a forma on that gear practically cuts the drain capacity in half. There are also lots of warframes and weapons that come with format polarities, or polarities already present. I'm just telling you that if you want more polarities, you gotta max the gear and put a forma on it, and boom. AKA, the mod that would normally drain 14 capacity would only drain 7 in a slot with the right polarity assigned to it. Okay, that's cool, but how do you even get your mods to higher capacity? Well, through upgrading. While in your build menu, you can click the mods button on the bottom right, click on the mod you want to upgrade, and then click fusion. Now, upgrading mods does a couple of things. It steals your well-earned credits in Endo, it ups the capacity drain of the mod, and it increases the effect a particular mod has. Now, I mean, I understand how to get credit swag, and if you play through the index, you already have an easy way to obtain more, but wait a minute, what the fuck is Endo, and where do I get that? Endo is the prime currency you need to upgrade mods, that much we already established. Getting Endo is actually fairly easy, but farming it effectively is not. I'll link to an optimized farm in the description, but normal farming entails high-risk bounties on pretty much all destinations, finding Ayaton statues, installing gems and converting those to Endo at Maru's Bazaar on Mars, or the method that I like most, through passive farming throughout the game. See, every mod has a base value of Endo attached to it. In the mod section of the game, you can just sell the duplicates of your mods and receive the amount of Endo for it, which makes everything just easier. If you play a little here and there, mods will eventually stack up. Use the quick select menu to get any duplicates you want. Make sure to leave at least one copy so you don't delete any valuable mods like I do all the time. And bada bing bada boom, you've got some Endo. While playing Warframe, at one point you get to do sorties, which are glorified endgame missions. Those often reward Rivens. Circuit rewards Rivens. Rivens reward Rivens. Hell, you get Rivens out the ass at some point. Rivens are randomized stat enhancing mods, and they can be re-rolled for another random roll. But power balances change. A Riven that was god tier a year ago might now be completely worthless, or just worth less. Because the weapon it's for is outclassed by a lot, I still cry about my Lanka Riven. If you've re-rolled that Riven a couple times, the amount of rolls you put in gets translated to Endo in one way or another, so it might be worth looking through your stack of unused Rivens and then just selling them for Endo. Now, regarding the status or damage part of this whole section and combination mods, that deserves its own video because I don't want this to be fucking 20 minutes long, so I'll try and make that in a reasonable time frame.
Bitch, I hope the fuck you do!
Throughout Warframe, we get a ton of new locations. Some of those being new starting locations, like the Drifter's Camp or the back room in the Holvania Central Mall. We all start out in our orbiter though. And if you're like me, you prefer switching locations based on what you're doing. But how? Because that is not explained very well, and I was stuck in the Drifter's Camp for a fucking long time. To switch your base location, really all you need to do is click on the Drifter's Camp. It will then prompt you to choose if you want to switch operations. If you choose yes, you will then log in and load from the Drifter's Camp as a base of operations. If you choose no, nothing happens. Same goes for the back room in Holvania, and if you want to go back to your orbiter, you just open your navigations and do the same thing with orbiter. It's not super important, but something almost no one ever talks about, and it can get quite annoying when you just want to jump around your orbiter instead of looking at Cal's ugly mug. Also, DE, it would be amazing if we could just visit the Drifter's Camp instead of, like we can do with the back room. Thank you. Mastery rank. Kind of important. I mean, probably the most important thing on this list, but not really well explained. Your mastery rank, or MR for short, is basically your rank as a player and signifies how far you are in the game to a certain extent. Now, it's not really like a level, like in RuneScape you have combat levels. You can view it more like the Call of Duty level system, where you have to get certain gear to certain levels to unlock new things. But in Warframe, it all accumulates to your total level, which is a really long way of saying if you just master everything, your mastery rank goes up. In short, all gear that you master, aka get to its highest rank, attributes to your mastery rank through affinity gain. Okay, cool, shithead, we knew that, but what are the advantages of higher mastery ranks? In its basis, each rank up increases the daily maximum syndicate standing by 500, starting from around 16,000 on MR 0. Each rank up increases the maximum accumulation cap of void traces, meaning you can get more void traces total by 50, starting from 100. Each rank up increases the daily maximum of focus points earned through focus lenses by 5,000, starting from 250,000, I believe. Each rank up increases the maximum enemy level in the simulacrum, which is basically like your training grounds or proving grounds or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's like a shooting range by 5, starting from level 30. Each rank up for legendary ranks awards a legendary core, which is basically just means every 10, 20, I believe. Each rank up awards a mastery slate orbiter decoration, which just means, you know, the little icon you got for your mastery rank, you also get that on a piece of stone that you can put in your orbiter or wherever the fuck else. But some mastery rank thresholds also open up new parts of the game. For example, MR2 unlocks trading with other players. MR3 through right around, I believe, MR10 unlock mission types or are required for quests like Ureli's Wave Rider quest, or just simply unlock gear like you want later, like the helmet segment. Some Warframes are soft locked behind MR because you need a certain mastery rank to do the quest, like I think it's MR4 for Protea. You can still buy them for plat and use them, but who's got that kind of money? To explain it in really simple terms, or just keeping it really short, you want to reach MR17 at least to unlock everything the game has to offer. Any and every mastery rank after that up to MR30, which is the highest, and then you go to legendary ranking, is strictly for the daily gains and standing or avoid traces caps. I mean, it's really that simple. All right, movement. Movement in Warframe is everything. Getting to your objectives quicker, launching yourselves across the plains of Eidolon or wherever the fuck you want to launch yourself off of, or simply using the in-game transport and quick travel systems, movement can make or break your experience in Warframe. Let me tell you that. And let me tell you why. Warframe can be extremely enemy dense. There's multiple levels to a tile, and the enemy AI will cover all of those if it thinks it can get to you better that way. Or, you know, the spawn simply works that way, whatever. Digital Extremes has been doing a better job explaining movement to new players, but you still see people running around like they're in Gears of War. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with that, and sometimes it makes for a better experience to just run around a map instead of bullet jumping at Mach 5, but as soon as you get to tile sets like the Corpus Gas City, for example, you just have to know how to get around. It has massive holes and platforms, big jumps, aim gliding, etc. Movement at its basis is really simple. You have a sprint / roll, jump, double jump, and a crouch plus slide setup. For most shooter games, that is already pretty advanced, but for Warframe, this is the bare minimum. And when you start sliding and combine it with a jump, you start to bullet jump, the bread and butter of Warframe's movement system. Look down sides of your weapon to start aim gliding, essentially giving you more airtime. Jump again to perform your double jump, and that's a basic combo. Now tying in the roll mid-air, you slide, jump, aim glide, roll, jump again, and aim glide to get pretty far. Then there's niche stuff like animation canceling, roll canceling, making sure you don't hit the ground hard when you fall from up high. There's void slinging, launching from arc wings, different movement abilities you can tie in. You gotta just move around. As much as movement is an offensive main ability, you can also use it defensively by jumping around from wall to wall so enemies just miss more. Incorporating wall running, latching, all the things the game offers you. And there's a lot of guides on how to move fastest or the best movement combos in general, but just know Warframe is movement and movement is Warframe. They go hand in hand. And that's it, the basics, quick rundown. You're still gonna get lost, you're still gonna craft a run gun at least once, and you'll definitely forget what half your mods even do. But hey, now you won't look completely brain dead out there. Go forth, Tenno. Break the laws of physics, slide kick into people's shins, and remember, in Warframe, confusion is the end game. Stay safe out there. Bye. I mean later. Later is my catchphrase. Been so long I already forgot. Alright, bye.